You've been told your whole life that hard work is the key to success, right? But what if I told you that all you needed were 7 simple words? Yeah, just 7 words, and they're so powerful, they could rewire your brain and change your entire reality. I know that sounds crazy, but stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll be using those words yourself, and trust me, you'll wish you knew them sooner. Let's be honest. How many times have you tried to push harder, work longer, and hustle more, only to feel like you're just running in circles? If that sounds like you, let me reassure you, you're not alone. I was exactly where you are. I tried everything, staying up late, grinding day after day, but nothing really changed. There was always something missing, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Then, I stumbled upon something that changed the game completely. It wasn't about working harder. It was about speaking differently. That's when everything clicked. Now, here's the part that's going to blow your mind. Those 7 words I mentioned earlier, they aren't just motivational fluff. They're backed by actual neuroscience. You see, the way you talk to yourself literally changes how your brain functions. The words you use can either lift you up or hold you back, and most of us are unknowingly choosing the wrong ones every single day. Here's a hint. The words you use are shaping your identity. They're either reinforcing the version of you that stays stuck, or they're pushing you toward the version of yourself that thrives. It's no coincidence that successful people often say things like, "I am confident" or "I am capable," while those struggling say things like, "I can't" or "I'm not good enough." But we're not stopping at theory here. Stick around for the next few minutes, because I'm about to give you the exact 7 words that flipped my life upside down. And once you learn them, you'll be able to use them yourself to start rewiring your brain for success. No gimmicks, no fluff, just a simple change that you can start using right now. Now imagine if every word you said was helping you, not holding you back. That's the power of this formula. Let's dive deeper. Let me take you back 3 years ago. I was sitting in my small, cramped apartment, staring at my bank account, which was barely hanging on. I was hustling hard, working long hours, trying different side gigs, reading all the self-help books I could find, but nothing was sticking. Success felt like it was this distant goal, something reserved for other people, but not for me. You see, I had this deep frustration. I was doing everything that I thought I was supposed to do, but it still felt like the world was moving faster than I could keep up. Every time I took a step forward, life seemed to push me 2 steps back. Sound familiar? I was exhausted, not just physically, but mentally. I had reached the point where I was about to give up. But then, something strange happened. I was scrolling through social media one night, completely zoned out, and I stumbled upon this video. It was short, only a couple of minutes long, but what the person said completely changed the way I looked at my life. And it wasn't some motivational talk or a work harder speech. It was something much simpler. The message was this: the words you use can either trap you or set you free. At first, I thought, okay, cool story, but how does that help me pay my bills? But the more I thought about it, the more it started to make sense. I had spent my entire life saying things like, "I'm not good enough," "I can't afford that," or "I'm just not that lucky." It was like I was programming myself to fail without even realizing it. So I decided to test it out. What if I changed the way I talked to myself? What if, instead of focusing on what I couldn't do or what I didn't have, I started focusing on what I could become? It felt weird at first. Honestly, it felt kind of silly. But I stuck with it. And what happened next was nothing short of amazing. I remember one morning, I woke up, and instead of feeling that usual dread about facing the day, I felt lighter. I started telling myself things like, "I am capable of success. I am deserving of wealth and happiness." And it wasn't just about saying the words. It was about believing them. It wasn't an overnight transformation, but slowly I began to notice changes. My confidence grew, opportunities started coming my way, and I was no longer sabotaging myself with negative self-talk. It's like my entire mindset had been rebooted, and all I did was change the way I spoke to myself. I went from barely scraping by to earning more money in a month than I used to make in a year. And it didn't happen by accident. It happened because I started using the right words to shape my reality. All right, now that you know a bit about my story, let's talk about the science behind why those words worked for me, and why they'll work for you too. This isn't just some feel-good motivational stuff. There's actual science that explains how the words you use can reprogram your brain and literally change the course of your life. You might have heard of something called neuroplasticity. It's the brain's ability to change and adapt throughout your life. What's really amazing is that your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on what you think, what you say, and what you experience. Every time you say something, your brain creates new pathways that reinforce that belief. Think about it this way. Your brain is like a massive network of highways, and every time you say something negative, like "I'm not good enough" or "I can't do this," you're reinforcing those negative highways, making them stronger and faster. Over time, these highways become the default roads your brain travels. You automatically fall into patterns of self-doubt and limiting beliefs without even realizing it. But here's the good news. Just like negative highways, you can also build positive ones. When you start saying things like "I am capable of success," "I am worthy of happiness," and "I deserve abundance," you're creating new roads in your brain. At first, these roads might feel unfamiliar, but the more you use them, the stronger they become. Here's where things get even more interesting. Studies have shown that positive words don't just change your thoughts, they also affect your body on a cellular level. Yes, you heard that right. Words can change your biology. Researchers have found that when people use positive affirmations, it can lower stress, improve mental clarity, and even boost the immune system. Your body responds to the words you feed your mind. And it's not just about the words you say out loud. It's about the words you say to yourself. Self-talk is incredibly powerful. If you're constantly telling yourself, "I'm not good enough," your brain is going to believe that's the truth, and you'll start behaving in ways that confirm that belief. But if you start feeding your brain with positive affirmations, you're going to shift your mindset and, ultimately, your actions. Here's a real-world example. Athletes use this technique all the time. They train their brains just as much as they train their bodies. If you listen to top athletes, you'll often hear them say, "I am the best," or "I will win." They're not just being cocky, they're programming their brains for success. By the time they step into the arena, their minds are already wired to win. And guess what? It works. The more they affirm their ability to succeed, the more their brain believes it, and the more likely they are to achieve their goals. So, what does this mean for you? It means that every word you speak, whether positive or negative, has the power to shape your reality. And we're not talking about some mystical law of attraction here. This is science. Words are energy, and that energy affects how your brain functions, how you feel, and ultimately, how you act. Your brain is like a sponge, soaking up every word you say, and using it to map out your behavior. Now let's go a step further. You've probably heard about how powerful gratitude can be, right? Well, there's science behind that too. When you express gratitude, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical. This doesn't just make you feel happier in the moment. It also motivates you to keep seeking out positive experiences. It's like your brain's way of rewarding you for focusing on the good stuff. Think about it this way. Every time you say, "I am so happy and grateful," you're sending a message to your brain that says, "This is my reality." Your brain then starts looking for ways to reinforce that belief, and over time, you begin to notice more and more reasons to be happy and grateful. It's like your brain goes on a scavenger hunt for positivity. So, to sum it up, the words you use don't just affect your thoughts. They affect your brain, your body, and ultimately, your reality. Neuroplasticity, self-talk, and gratitude are all tools you can use to rewire your brain for success. The key is consistency. You've got to keep feeding your brain the right words until they become second nature. All right, this is the moment you've been waiting for. I've been talking a lot about how words can change your life. And now it's time to give you the exact 7 words that helped me rewire my brain for success. These words are so simple, but don't let that fool you. Once you start using them regularly, you'll see just how powerful they are. So here they are. I am worthy of success and happiness. That's it. 7 words. But let me tell you why these 7 words pack such a punch. First, let's break it down, starting with the words I am. These 2 words are incredibly powerful because they're a declaration. When you say I am, you're telling your brain, this is who I am right now. It's not I will be or I want to be. It's present tense, which means you're claiming it as your current reality. You're not just wishing for it, you're living it. Now, the next part, worthy. This is the key. So many of us struggle with feeling like we're not enough, like we don't deserve success, happiness, or even the things we dream about. By saying, I am worthy, you're telling your brain that you deserve these things. And that's huge, because if you don't believe you're worthy of success and happiness, you'll unconsciously push them away. Think about it. How many times have you passed up opportunities because deep down you didn't feel like you deserved them? Or maybe you've achieved something, but felt like an imposter, like you didn't really belong there. This happens because, at some level, you've convinced yourself that you're not worthy. And that belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But by declaring, I am worthy of success and happiness, you're breaking that cycle. Now let's talk about the last part, success and happiness. These are 2 things we all want, right? But notice how we're not just focusing on one or the other. This affirmation brings them together, because what's the point of being successful if you're not happy? And what's the point of happiness if you're not thriving in the things that matter to you? Here's where the real magic happens. When you start repeating this phrase regularly, you're not just saying words. You're literally rewiring your brain. Every time you say, I am worthy of success and happiness, you're creating new neural pathways that reinforce that belief. Over time, those pathways become stronger and stronger, and your brain starts operating from a place of worthiness and abundance. At first, it might feel strange, like you're just saying words you don't fully believe yet. That's okay. Keep going. The more you say it, the more your brain will start to accept it as reality. Remember, this is about consistency. You're building new habits, both mentally and emotionally. I've used this exact affirmation in my own life, and I can't tell you how much it's changed the way I approach everything, from business to relationships to personal goals. Once I started believing I was worthy of success and happiness, opportunities that used to feel out of reach suddenly became attainable. I stopped sabotaging myself with doubt and fear, and instead, I started acting with confidence and clarity. Now, it's your turn. I want you to take these 7 words, I am worthy of success and happiness, and make them a part of your daily routine. Say them every morning when you wake up and every night before you go to sleep. The more you repeat them, the more you'll start to notice a shift, not just in your mindset, but in the way the world responds to you. You see, once you believe you're worthy of success and happiness, you'll start attracting the opportunities, people, and experiences that align with that belief. You won't hesitate when a new opportunity comes your way, and you won't second-guess yourself when making big decisions. You'll move through life with a sense of purpose, knowing that you deserve everything you've been working for. Now that you've got the 7 words that can change your life, I am worthy of success and happiness, let's take things a step further. It's time to customize this formula so it works specifically for you. Think of the 7 words as your base recipe, but to make it truly powerful, you'll need to add your own personal ingredients. Here's how it works. Take the basic affirmation, I am worthy of success and happiness, and then tailor it to your specific goals. For example, if you're aiming for financial freedom, you might say, I am worthy of financial abundance and freedom. Or if your goal is to improve your health, you could say, I am worthy of perfect health and vitality. The key here is to be specific. The more detailed you are, the clearer your brain becomes on what you're aiming for. Instead of saying, I am worthy of success, try something like, I am worthy of building a thriving business that earns me $100,000 a year. See the difference? When you give your brain a clear picture, it knows exactly what to work toward. Here are a few examples to get you started. I am worthy of building a successful career that brings me joy and fulfillment. I am worthy of finding my soulmate and creating a loving relationship. I am worthy of traveling the world and experiencing new adventures. When you customize your affirmation, you're not just saying empty words. You're giving your brain a target to focus on. And when you repeat these words daily, you're reinforcing that target over and over again, making it more likely that you'll take action toward achieving it. Now, one thing to keep in mind. While it's important to dream big, your affirmation should also feel believable. If it feels too out of reach, your brain might reject it. So start with something that feels achievable, and as you gain confidence, you can scale up your affirmations to match your bigger goals. The beauty of this process is that you can tweak your affirmations as you grow and evolve. So take a moment now to think about what success and happiness look like for you. What do you want to achieve? What are you worthy of? Once you've got it, write it down, say it out loud, and make it a part of your daily routine. The more you practice, the more you'll start to notice your mindset shifting, and the more your brain will work to bring those goals into reality. Now that you've personalized your affirmation, let's talk about how to make it a daily habit. The power of these 7 words, or your customized version, comes from repetition. Just like going to the gym builds your physical muscles, saying your affirmation every day strengthens your mental muscles. It rewires your brain to believe in the success and happiness you're aiming for. Here's how to integrate this into your daily life. Morning routine. The first few minutes after you wake up are critical. Your brain is still in a relaxed state, and that's when it's most open to suggestion. Right after you wake up, take a deep breath and say your affirmation out loud. Stand in front of a mirror if you can. It amplifies the impact because you are looking yourself in the eye and declaring who you are. Evening routine. Right before bed, repeat the affirmation again. Your subconscious mind will work on it while you sleep, and you'll wake up feeling more aligned with your goals. Pairing it with deep breaths or meditation can help you internalize the message even more. In the moment boost. Throughout the day, anytime you feel doubt creeping in, or when you're faced with a challenge, pause for a moment and say your affirmation. It's like hitting the reset button for your mind, reminding yourself that you are worthy of success and happiness, no matter what the circumstances. Write it down. Writing your affirmation solidifies it in your mind. Get a notebook or journal where you can write it down every day. The act of physically writing, it helps reinforce the belief in your brain. Bonus points if you put your journal somewhere visible as a daily reminder. Visualization. As you repeat your affirmation, visualize the end result. Picture yourself living the success and happiness you're declaring. Feel it as if it's already happening. This creates a vivid mental image that your brain can latch onto, making it more real. Remember, the more consistently you practice, the faster you'll start to notice shifts in your mindset. At first, it might feel a bit unnatural, but stick with it. Over time, you'll notice that your brain starts believing these affirmations as truths, and you'll begin to act in ways that align with the success and happiness you're affirming. It's not about magic. It's about building mental habits that align your thoughts with your goals. The more you affirm your worthiness, the more you'll notice positive opportunities appearing in your life. And when those opportunities come, you'll be ready to take action. By now, you've learned just how powerful words can be in shaping your reality. Those 7 words, I am worthy of success and happiness, are the foundation for transforming your mindset, rewiring your brain, and opening the door to new opportunities. But remember, the real power comes from consistently using these words every single day. It's about making them a habit, so your mind becomes your greatest ally in achieving your goals. But here's the most important thing to remember. This journey is personal. Your success, your happiness, and your path are unique to you. That's why personalizing your affirmation and using it daily is so crucial. The more you say it, the more you'll believe it, and the more your actions will align with the life you want to create. Now, before you go, I want you to do one last thing. Take a moment to drop a comment below and share your own version of the affirmation. Whether it's the original, "I am worthy of success and happiness," or your customized version, I'd love to hear what you're affirming for yourself. By sharing it, you're not only reinforcing it in your mind, but you're also inspiring others to do the same. Plus, I'll be reading through and responding to as many comments as I can. So let's start a conversation. And if this video helped you in any way, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need this message. You never know who's struggling with self-doubt or feeling stuck, and this simple practice might be the key to unlocking their potential. If you're interested in more life-changing tips like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We're building a community of people who are ready to step into their worthiness and claim the success and happiness they deserve, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, your words have the power to change your life. Use them wisely and watch how your world transforms.